have been suspended. In Osun State at the moment, uh, government's money, resources, revenue now goes to individual account, private companies. You know, by TSC, the standard is when you want to pay to Osun State government, it goes to one account, not multiple accounts. Under Oyetola, all those multiple accounts were expunged, were taken away. So TSC, every money must go there. But under this government, nothing like that. Number two is that, do you know government of Senator Nuruddin Jackson Ademola Adeleke Ifeanyi as again awards contracts without supplementary budget.
You are making some. Okay, you said.
No. You can verify this.
Okay, without supplementary budget. Okay.
Without can you spend money, government's money without budget?
We'll get to all those ones.
So when you are saying he has performed in the last 11 months, I can tell you that Osun people are groaning on the account of, I would say, is obvious and gross incompetence based on some of the things he promised them, and he has not been able to fulfill his promise. I have just mentioned one out of his, that is due process, accountability, and rule of law. He has failed on that. Then, as we progress in the program, then we can talk about it.
Okay, we will continue on that. ABS, I have some retinue of questions here to ask, but I want us to start one by one. He has raised something now, which is also part of what I wanted to ask. People are saying that, look here, Governor Ademola Adeleke was sworn in on 27th of November 2022. Before he came on board, the former Governor Ademola Adeleke former Governor Adebayo has presented a budget to the people of the state, to the House of Assembly, and the Assembly has passed it. He signed that budget before he left. Even though there are criticism that, hey, Mr. Governor, some people asked that question that when you knew that you are not going to be part of 2023, you are not going to be on seat in 2023, why signing the budget of 2023? But people are saying, okay, when a new government comes on board, it is the responsibility of that government to say, look here, these are the things that I've met, but this and this do not fit into my own plan and agenda for the people of the state. The House of Assembly, I hereby present this for you to help me look into. Help me look at this and this and ratify. And then people are saying that when you approve some programs, some projects, and there is a limitation to what the governor can spend without the House of Assembly. Why has there been no budget even when the assembly that is dominated, that is 95% members of the PDP are there? Why has he not presented any budget to the House?
Well, thank you very much, the presenter. You see, before I go to that question raised by you, may I quickly address the point based on ignorance raised by my brother and friend, Elder Adebayo. So, right, Adedeji, sorry. We are meeting for the first time physically, actually, but we are familiar people on the turf. We engage a lot, even though most of the time they are rough engagement, though in the interest of the citizenry. Now, to the point, he was talking about abandonment of policies of Oyetola. You see, I think that is coming from a perspective of hatred and bitterness, which are not helpful ingredients, to the societal well-being of the people. When you want to accuse of abandonment, the weight of allegation rests heavily on the character and personality of Boyega Isaka Oyetola. And you ask me why. Despite that, Oyetola is a baby project of former Governor Rauf Aregbesola, you understand, having come together, under one banner and under the platform of same party, it is on record that barely upon the time that Oyetola became governor one way or the other, after the main victory of His Excellency Senator Ademola Adeleke in September 2018, before the abracadabra later, you understand, in the office, throughout 4 years' grace that Oyetola had, he practically frustrated every lofty idea that could help the people of this state, which were backed by the previous APC administration of Engineer Rauf Aregbesola, and one of which was the distress, disadvantage, meted against the people of Ifelodun local government, and particularly the electorate in Ikirun, wherein the road leading to Esaudo Kwara boundary, awarded by Engineer Rauf Aregbesola, could not be continued to any meaningful state under Oyetola, despite that they are under the same APC. If anything, under 100 days of the PDP and also under His Excellency, the good loving, the loving governor of Osun State, we have completed that axis of road up to Ikirun from Osogbo, and with street light illumination at night. That place now looks like Atlanta, Georgia, in the US. When you travel, you can be rest assured that there is safety, there is ornament on that road. It looks so beautiful now, and there are less accidents. We have been able to save lives, and more importantly, Adeleke did not introduce a new contractor. His Excellency did not bring his own contractor because pecuniary gains or advantage are never his top consideration in the first place, other than the service to the people of this state. We have been able, some of at our office at the bureau where I head, some of these contractors, we have had interfaces with them. This governor, the good governor of the state, ensured that the contractors that the APC engaged from the beginning of that award during the days of Rauf Aregbesola, before Oyetola abandoned that quality, that futuristic project, we have not revoked the contract. On that Aziz Samia is working, and this state has committed huge amount of money under His Excellency Governor Ademola Adeleke. So we are continuing the progress, the record and history of progress, irrespective of which party started what. Insofar we know that this will benefit the ordinary people of the state. So if you want to talk about abandonment, you had better left out His Excellency Ademola Jackson Adeleke. And that is not the end. Come to the stretch of road at Okebale Axis, linking up to Ilesha Garage, which Oyetola abandoned for 4 years. We have been on that road working day and night now, and we did not revoke this contract. We ensured that it was the original contractor that the APC gave the job to. They are the people we call Slafa Bogu company, construction company. They are there. I have statistical record. They have been at my office. I have statistical record that before December this year, in a couple of months, that axis of road from Ilesha Garage up to the roundabout at Okebale will be completed with surface course. This is not what you can call abandonment. If you are going to hang anybody for the offense of abandonment, we will hang former Governor Isiaka Oyetola. But I'm not here for personality attack. That is that of that. When you are talking about feedback, he was talking about.
We'll go on to all this.
Listen, now, okay, let me quickly point on the question you asked as to budgetary spending, what have you. You see, fine, I am not here for personality attack, but some of the minuses that former Governor Isiaka Oyetola committed are not what we can just decide to wave aside just like that. Because the syndrome of bad loser is inherent in the former governor's blood. You have lost an election and you started plunging the state into the abyss of spring finances and wastages of funds. And one example of that is the illegal local government election that he conducted, despite perpetual warning from the PDP side. This man wasted over $1 billion that could have been, deployed for the good of the Osun State people. Now, we have not in any way spent any amount of money outside budgetary provision. What the Mr. Governor, His Excellency Ademola Adeleke, have only done is to introduce financial ingenuity into the heart of governance running. Let me quickly point this out. Oyetola used to take away 500 million, 600 million every month as security votes into his own pocket. Adeleke, since our coming on board November 27, 2022, His Excellency has not taken 1 naira security vote.
Let me
Go and find out. So some of this money that will have amounted to heap of billions, which will have lined $8 pocket, which are now in the covers, are the money that His Excellency is applying for development, which they are now calling extra budget. Because you see
the budget that he will take that money.
You see, the point is that the money that Oyetola has been using to service himself and his family, which Adeleke has now refused to take up, because this is a governor who is made before he became governor at all. So part of this money, if His Excellency now direct that my people needs road in John McCain, for example, where we have constructed in Osogbo, you understand? So what has bedeviled the APC in Osun State is that they are lame, and they are seeing.
Let me ask you a
listen,
question.
Listen, they are seeing. Listen now. They are seeing the progress that we are recording.
We have time to discuss a lot of
you
these
see,
things.
they are seeing the progress that we are. Listen now. They have seen the progress that we are recording as a state government, and they are baffled at how is Adeleke doing it.
Okay,
so some of this money that we have decided not to corner are what we are using to run this project. It's not that we are spending out of budgetary.
Let me now ask you a question. When you say you are not spending out of budgetary allocation, people will ask. That is what we have heard. As people that go to the street on a daily basis, people are asking that the money that was meant for the people of the states, the money that was meant for the state must be for the people of the state. As you have said, Governor Ademola Adeleke has said it. He said it at the last Ademola that he has never collected one dime as security vote. But some people are asking that, wait, if you say you are not spending out of a budget, some of the roads that are awarded, the ongoing roads in Ede, that Akoda, Ede to Idosun, the dualization that you are there, is it part of the budget? And then are we saying that that kind of budget, that kind of project shouldn't be in the budget? And then also, we look at some of the things that you have done in the recent times. Why are they all of them in the budget? You see that every money that you have spent were part of the budget that was signed by former Governor Oyetola.
Now, Mr. Jare, listen to this. In that House of Assembly, God was so good to the people of Osun State that it is never a constituted House of Assembly wherein all the 26 members will be PDP. Little as it may be, we have a minority leader who is a member of APC. Since the day of their inauguration, I think June 3rd or so, first week in June, either June 3rd or June 2nd, have you heard the minority leader of the House of Assembly come out say that the state governor has done any infringement?
The minority leader say that we cannot say it because minority leader is not saying it.
The minority,
I'm asking that
the minority leader of the House of Assembly, who is a member of the APC, is in that house. If there is any infringement, it should be the best person to know by status and hierarchy.
As a journalist,
I
think I should also know that there is no budget before the house.
We are coming to that. So if the House of Assembly member who is APC member has not found anything wanting in the business of operation of governance being led by His Excellency Governor Ademola Adeleke, then you have to give us kudos. Now, talking about the project you mentioned, one thing that you press people have not been able to really factor, and I plead with the press to expand your frontiers and see to that area, is that fine, there is a culture of budget in the business of governance. However, a governor, as it were, has some ability of grace to do certain things, pending the time that another new budget was going to come up. And I want to believe that is the threshold.
Are you sure that that is, it happens, I want us to get education. I want us to educate our viewers.
That is the threshold, I believe.
The threshold that we are talking about that provided by the Constitution is not more than 500 million naira. And then you cannot tell us that, and even when the National Assembly was on recess, and President Bola Tinubu wanted to do something, even it has happened during the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan, he will invite the House and ask them to come for an emergency sitting. But now this House has been for over 4 months now, And we are saying that we are still waiting. What money spent this year will be in the next year budget. Is that what you are telling me?
We have not violated any fiscal responsibility. You understand? However, if there is any question anybody wishes to know as to spendings and all of that, this House of Assembly under Right Honourable Adewale Egbedun has been running an open door and transparent approach of governance.
It's not the duty of the House of Assembly to present it.
You understand?
What is presented before you.
It is not. It is not for you and I. Even though I am in government, I cannot know the correspondence that has exchanged.
Budget is not a secret something. Plenary is not done secretly. But however, let me give him the opportunity to react to what you have said, so that we will move on.
Yeah, Mr. Moderator, let me first of all address some of the issues raised by ABS. He raised the issue of security votes. That when Alhaji Oyetola was in office, I used to collect 600. He actually was reiterating what Governor Adeleke said at the Ademola, that Oyetola collected, for the period he was in office, collected security votes. And I can tell you that nothing like that happened. And I'm saying this on my honor. One of very close associates, or let me say nominees or appointees of Alhaji Oyetola was on a radio station some weeks back, Kehinde Ayantunji. And something like that was, the related question was put to him. And he said it as well, that nothing like that, happened during the period of Oyetola. Oyetola did not collect security votes. And I'm saying this again on my honor. And it's based on,
maybe they have the record. They are in the government now.
The record. He said Governor Adeleke has not collected any security vote, but he collected security vote in December, just barely a month he got to office.
And do you have that record?
You're asking me whether I have the record.
We cannot just be making blanket allegations.
It is not blanket. I am saying, Governor. I'm saying this on my honor. Yeah. Governor Adeleke collected security votes in December, barely a month when he got to office.
Do you have the record?
If the government can make an official statement,
they made categorical statement. They said he collected 500 to 600 million naira every month. Okay. How much did Adeleke collect?
Can Governor Adeleke or the government of Osun State let it be to all Osun citizens how much Oyetola collected? Specific.
This is
specific. Hold on. ABS, don't interrupt me. I allowed you to make your thought. Allow me to make my thought, please. Specific terms. On so dates, Oyetola collected so. On so that is how to put a fact, forward. Not that you will be, using whims and caprices, to deceive the people. No. I have just told you now that, during the Ademola, Governor Adeleke, when some journalists asked him questions that, are you saying how are you going to get money to fund the security now that we had issues in Ilobu? And he now tried to correct himself that, when there are emergencies, he could, write to the government to give him money. What it means is that he has been collecting it. It cannot be a static fund. You understand it now? But he has been collecting money. But that has been said. Two issues have been raised here. The issue of TSA, Treasury Single Account. That has been suspended by the government of.
I will ask him to respond.
No. You don't need to ask him again. He actually parried that question. He went to another thing. He went to road and stuff like that. Because the issue of road was not related to TSA. These are governance issues, fiscal issues that any responsible and responsive government must take very, very serious. Issue of money that is coming to the state. When we left the government, Osun State was beginning to earn like 20 billion naira, 21 billion naira IGR. We met 10 billion. And if I say we met, I'm talking about the government of Alhaji Adebayo 2018 to 2022. Met about 10 billion naira. By the time he left office, it has doubled. That was why, when he first got to office, it was very difficult for him to make to meet some statutory obligations.
You mean like principal?
Yeah, my principal. You understand? It was very difficult to make some security, some statutory obligations. The first 6 months, because during that period, You know, in fact, Oyetola got to office when Osun was financially on its knees on account of money, you know, or let me say debt, you know, that he inherited. But through his sheer, you know, creativity and his focus on you know, on what he wanted to do for the people, you know, he had to improvise, and money was coming here and there. You know, at a time when we were in government, at times at the end of the month, when other states were getting money, Osun will return from Abuja with negative allocations, zero allocations. By the time Oyetola left government, Oyetola had already paid 97 billion naira out of the money that was, you know, given to him. If I say given to him, debt, you know, that he met on ground. 97 billion naira was money Oyetola would have used. I think being the previous government did not owe any money. 97 billion naira would have been money Oyetola would have used to do roads, to do hospital, to do social services to the people. But because the money was taken from the source, from Abuja, so it was very difficult. But by the time the government has stabilized, after 2 years, 3 years, that the government has stabilized, the idea had improved, then other sources, you know, of income was coming. Then Oyetola could say, okay, let me pay this, let me pay that. That was when the idea of let us recruit teachers, let us recruit health professionals, let us recruit all these people to show up the inadequacies in the system. You know, when we were in government, there was a proposal from the ANCOPS, that is the Association of the Principals, that before we will have a very decent education system in Osun State, 6,500 teachers must be recruited. No fewer than 6,500 teachers must be recruited. But could, you know, Osun State, you know, afford such a number at that time? No. That was why the idea of, okay, let us recruit batch by batch. So Oyetola decided, okay, let us recruit 2,500 teachers, then we can take them in based on the availability of funds. You understand it now? So when the finance of Osun was improving, Oyetola was trying to open up the system so that some of the ITATO programs that are not being touched, ITATO policies that are not being touched, were touched. You get what I'm trying to say now? So, but by the time we left the government, some of the things the current government has been doing have been done in secrecy, have been shrouded. At the moment, you can ask ABS, he speaks for the government. Ask him how much Osun has generated in IGL since November. Okay, let us have January to June. How much has Osun State generated in IGL? When we were in government, we were always telling the Osun people that, okay, this is the money we have gotten, this is the money we have gotten, and we, you know, promise to have this so period. You should ask him, that is the question to him, that how much has Osun generated since January, from January to June. If you cannot give me the record up to date, at least from January to June, you should give us some of the money that was supposed to go to, or let me say, some of the money that is supposed to come to the coffers of the government is being taken to private pockets. That is the way they are running the government. That is the way they are running the government. When you suspend TSA, you are giving room for leakage. Meanwhile, at every provocation, at every opportunity, Governor Adeleke will say, we are plugging leakages, we are doing this, we are doing that. Meanwhile, TSA is not functional in Osun State. Other states, TSA is still working. At the federal level, TSA, if you are going to suspend anything, it is not a policy like TSA you are going to say you are going to suspend. Okay. That is that. Then on the budget, you know, a point has been made already. But you can ask ABS again. Some of the roads under construction at the moment, were they in the 2023 budget signed under Oyetola?
I think I've asked him that, and he has responded to that.
No, he has not. You can ask him whether he should say it on his own or whether all those projects are in the budget.
Okay, before we go into that, before we go back to that, I think before we go to break, let us talk about two things. And then one of them is that ABS, you've been in government now for 11 months, and then people are saying that there are some key issues that people have raised. Number one, you are from Ede. And then people are saying that your government is a little bit nepotic. That why is it that all these Ede, you have governor, you have chief of staff, you have no fewer than 3 commissioners, right? And then you still have numerous number of special assistants and special advisors and senior special assistants. They are saying that a lot of things are now domiciled in Eden. Why you see like that, and then what will be your reaction to that?
Well, thank you very much. We are not a government of nepotism, and the evidence speaks for itself. But before I touch on that, you see one very simple analysis will have answered. Are we on? One simple analysis will have answered all of the imbroglio as to whether Oyetola was taking whooping 600 million naira monthly as security vote or not. Since we made that disclosure, have you seen the former governor come out expressly and debunk it that he never took that money? So my brother will not come here and say on my honor, which honor? You didn't serve in that government. So let his commissioner for finance come out and debunk. They know the implication. A governor of a state is the father and leader of that state who will not be frivolous with ingredient of fact. His Excellency have come out and we are corroborating what His Excellency told the people. Oyetola was drawing security vote. We are not incriminating that in any way. However, what we are saying is that to better the lives of the people is much more our own concern than to line our pocket with public fund like it happened under the APC Oyetola era. That's that or that. The governor never came out today, and if they say we are lying, let Oyetola come out today. He has a medium of discussing with the public.
Oyetola is busy with government job.
Let Omipidan issue a statement. You are not coming into my speech. Let Omipidan come out and speak to the state that his principal did not take security vote for foreman. He dare not do that. That is that about that. Now about the TSA, it is a general statement of fallacy again. The TSA has not been suspended. In the first place, TSA was never a state government policy. It was a federal government policy, which is still enforced in Osun State. The one thing about the opposition in Osun State is that they are lame and they are lazy. And the shock of electoral loss is still affecting them, such that they are not really coming to terms with the reality on ground. I charge my brother to do business with government tomorrow. You cannot run business with government without going through the TSA. And I give you an instance. I have access to information as an appointee of the government. You understand? Till tomorrow, the TSA is in force. If you, for example, you want to bid for a contract, you have to pay through the TSA account. Anything you want to do, the TSA is in force. That I can tell you categorically. Now, what is happening is that there is no perfect situation anywhere, and that is the extent of the integrity appreciation of His Excellency Governor Adeleke, that wherever we see a flaw, we must attack that flaw. Fine, one or two little questions of omissions have been observed, whereby some people try to jump the process of fund collection, and strict sanctions have been meted against the offenders. And that did not happen under us. It started under the Oyetola administration, which they tried to continue behind the scene, but now we have nabbed them and there is a stoppage to that. Government.
Are you referring to the Fira account, Lake Salami?
Yes. It didn't happen under us. It was since the days of Oyetola, but we are able to navigate.
Okay, those people are appointed by Oyetola. Is that what you are saying?
That is the point. And sanctions have been meted. Sanctions have been. So in order
not. Did it happen under Oyetola?
No. You are cutting me short now. Let me talk to the state people, the people of the state. So the TSA is in force. You understand, and it is on record that the money that Oyetola took for security will have amounted to close to not that will have amounted to close to 6 billion naira. 6 billion naira can do something significant in the lives of the pensioners of the state. He was talking about Oyetola meeting in massive financial condition between 2018 and 2022, and I asked, how can we not fear God as human being. Because Oyetola was a part of the Aregbesola government from A to Z. He was chief of staff. Appointee of the government of Rauf Aregbesola have come out to say that there was no decision taken by Aregbesola that Oyetola was not a party to. As a matter of fact, Oyetola's desk was the clearance table at that time of every kobo spent by the government. Now, you cannot exonerate Oyetola from all of the things you want to accuse Aregbesola of, but that is not our own focus now. If you are talking about the point that Oyetola came, he increased ITR, he did this, he did that. What about the deliberate impunity that were posted against Osun State destiny by the state Oyetola before he left? He was talking about the issue of recruitment. Recruitment, you waited for 4 years until you lost election before you now remember you want to recruit. Few days to your handing over, an handing over that he never did in the first place. You know, so it frustrated us. They did not hand over government to us. You know, we practically inherited an empty state before the governor, His Excellency Adeleke, now reshaped the whole government structure. So now, if you are saying that you increase idea, you did the, what about the heap of debt that you left behind that we are not servicing? You understand? Now, for example, when Oyetola was going, all this illegal appointment that he did for in relation to recruitment, it was to deliberately sink this state. The illegal election he conducted without against the rule of law was to plunge this state into the abyss of financial strait. You understand? Now, if we are going around seeking for who your father has owed, you are likely to meet on the way the person that your mother is also indebted to. Now, how do I mean? The moment Oyetola came on board as governor in 2018, there were federal government repayment repayment commitment that was made to Osun State. Some of the interventions that Aregbesola undertook on behalf of the federal government that time was against him. When Oyetola assumed office, on record, it took humongous billions in the name of Osun State for works previously done before he became governor. They did not complain to anyone. So they should stop this complaint. And that's why Governor Ademola Adeleke is not looking back only, we are looking forward. Regardless of the mess that APC put in place before we came on board, we are facing the future straight. We are paying the pensioners. We are paying the civil servants.
Let me go to him so that we can go on our short break.
Okay.
So that when we come back.
So by and large, God have assisted His Excellency Ademola Adeleke to put smile on the faces of the Osun people.
Please, in less than 2 minutes, I would like you to react to what he said. And I was saying, I realized that we are trying to check some of the things on your.
It's just to prove to the viewers at home that my brother, my friend here, has been economical with the truth, particularly about the TSA. He said the money goes to government's account, and what have you. Let me read this, if you give me that permission.
Okay,
let me read this letter. This communication was from the Osun Internal Revenue Service. So yes, they are in charge of the tax and everything. And it was issued 11 September 2023 to the managing director, Shina Pools, blah 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 blah. It was sent to upward review of tariffs. I am directed to inform you that the rate of license renewal and the royalty tax have been reviewed upward. They now came down. They now said, in furtherance to the above, the rate of the license renewal has been changed from the current 50,000 naira to 100,000 naira times 2. They now said, henceforth, you can make payments into the account details of the consultant as stated below. UBA, they put the account number. Adeloy's Multi-Services Nigeria Limited. It's Adeloy's Multi-Services Limited.
Who signed the documents and then how
Executive Chairman of OIRS, that is Osun Internal Revenue. Executive Chairman Taufik Adeyemi. It was. Hold on. I did not interrupt.
Our answer to that.
You wait. You have time. Just
let me make your point. I'll give you 30 seconds to quickly react.
This kind of correspondence, was sent to many businesses in Osun State. I only brought this one out to prove to you that government money still goes to private pockets.
Okay.
Just to diffuse the argument of my brother here that TSA the money goes to government account. No, it is not correct.
Well, to the extent of the letter you have just read out, you are citing the account number or account details of what is it called? Of a consultant who in turn might not be an absolute stranger to the state. You understand? But my question
is that the money is not going to the state account directly.
Now our answer to that is that his point is noted. You understand? APC people are a very delicate people.
No. You know listen, what we're saying? Okay, I've agreed to that.
I'm speaking to the point he raised now. The APC people are a very delicate people. People who could go as far as, causing the California State University drama can come up with anything in document. But we have noted this argument. Definitely the government will look into it and see
why you don't want to judge. I will say that this matter was raised sometime in January or February this year, and then if there is another letter in September, it means that it was not properly taken care of. However,
you cannot confirm the authenticity of that. And that was why I said
you were the one giving some
APC people and this CSU.
You were the one that gave some authenticity to it, and you said it is.
There is no legitimacy in that letter.
But you have said it is noted before.
Well, of course, we will see whether we can address it.
You have not investigated that.
There is no legitimacy.
There is no legitimacy. Okay, however, we will go on a very short break. When we are back, there is something that concerns the whole citizen of Osun State. I would like to ask Eda what exactly is happening with the president or with the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the APC-led government at the federal level. It seems the government is confused because where are we? The issue of subsidy was, announced per se on May 29th, and now about 5 months, the government is still planning. In Osun State here, the Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment was on this seat sometimes in August, where he told us that the government was planning what they are going to do for the people of the state. We had the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Media and Publicity, that is HOB. He was also here sometime in September, and he told us that the government was planning an holistic palliative program for the people of the state. But we are still at the planning stage 5 months late. And also, we'll be discussing the internal rankings. It seems the APC are taking, the leaders of the APC, former Governor Rauf Aregbesola and former Governor Adebayo are taking different routes towards the 2026 governorship election. It seems the crisis is still on. And then in the PDP, there is some internal wrangling. Some people are saying that they have been phased out of the government, even though they worked for the party in 2022. All this will be discussed after we come back from this very short break. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Let me give my guests some few minutes to refresh so that we'll come back to discuss these topics that I have raised. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Are we balanced? Okay. We are welcome back from our very short break, and the program is still Insightful Moments, and what we are discussing is governance and politics in Osun State, and my guests are Mr. Adebayo Adedeji, elder of the All Progressive Congress. Elder, thank you so much for staying with us.
Thank you very much, Mr.
And then a senior special assistant to Governor Ademola Adeleke, Mr. Akintunde Bello Sheriff, ABS. ABS, thank you so much for joining us.
It's been great being around.
Okay, let's now go back to what I was discussing the whole time. Let me start from header, because your party started all this protest. I consider that people are now suffering, and then you kept on telling us that we suffer for a little time, and then Bekumba Dale in Yoruba parlance, but it seems we have there is no hope in sight. So what exactly is happening? Recently, after the Labour were like, okay, they wanted to shut down the whole country, the government quickly arranged 35,000 naira as additional allowance to all the workers, and we are saying this one is for 6 months, and the Labour has said that they are not going to give any notice. They will just wake up one day and announce total shutdown. So what exactly is your government planning to do for the people of this country? Remember, you have not done it for the Labour. The producers are sweating under his ordinary person on the street that is not a civil servant is sweating. We are sweating in this office. So what is really happening?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. At times they will say desirable evil. That you don't have any choice than to take that route. Off camera, I was discussing this issue with my brother. That based on my orientation, ordinarily I would not have 100% support for total removal, because I'm a socialist, I'm a welfarist. I believe that government is in place for the purpose, for the welfare of the people. So whatever amount a government spends to take care of the well-being of the people, it's not a waste. So that is how that is my orientation. But that does not mean that is the economic truth, economic reality. Based on the economic reality of Nigeria today, perhaps the continuation of fuel subsidy cannot continue. Perhaps that was the reason President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he first got to office, before any engagement with anybody, he said, this is the position I am taking. If you want to kill me now, please kill me now. This is what I am going to do. I'm going to withdraw, or let me say, stop the subsidy, fuel subsidy. And that's what he did. And that's okay, to push back the backlash, or let me say to ameliorate the problems that might arise from the removal. He said these are the things the federal government will do in conjunction with state governors or state governments. And since that time, he has been trying to galvanize other stakeholders in the system to key into the policy, because as at the time he got to office, the government of Nigeria was actually borrowing money to sustain that subsidy. It's not only fuel subsidy we have many subsidies in Nigeria. We have education subsidy, we have air subsidy.
You have removed all.
No. It's only
when you say you have not removed education subsidy, why are the tertiary institutions
and when they told them when there is autonomy, there is a university autonomy.
So are you saying that there was no autonomy during the other administration?
When some of the university jacked up the school fees, what happened? The
government has not said anything.
The students protested,
and
most of the schools have brought it down.
When you say let's take OAU as an instance. I just want us to get it right.
Yeah.
Let's take OAU as an instance. You increase the money by over 300%.
Yeah.
Then after the protest, you remove 15% out of it. You took the money from 20-something thousand to 100-something thousand. And then when people started protesting, you brought it down to 76,000. And so what are we saying? Is there any
76,000?
76,000. I was with the vice chancellor. The vice chancellor confirmed this.
Okay, how much is Adeleke University? Do you have an idea of the school fees?
Are we saying that what Adeleke University, what the pay as Adeleke University was they should be paying at OAU.
Mr. Moderator. I said something, before my opening remarks.
Yes.
I said, by orientation, by my ideological leaning, I am a welfarist, and I believe that government is in place because of the people. One, education, basic education should be free. Primary, secondary, free. That's, I'm standing by that. And that's how I grew up. Basic, primary, and secondary should be free. Then tertiary education should be moderate. So if actually the federal universities are charging something thousand, I think it's moderate.
From 20-something thousand?
I think
when minimum wage is 30,000?
I think it is.
So somebody collects minimum wage, you have to gather for 2 months and
how much does it cost to train an undergraduate?
Okay.
How much does it cost to train an undergraduate? That is where we are going to start from. If it costs, let me say, 450,000 per annum to train an undergraduate, and government is now saying pay 75,000, it means government is going to shore it up with 350,000 subvention. That is it. Let us put that one aside and let us face what concerns virtually all Nigerians, which is the fuel subsidy. By the time President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got to office, Nigeria was actually borrowing money to sustain that subsidy. And we could not continue that way. That was the reason for that removal. Because, let me say, a tiny number of people were actually benefiting from that subsidy. After government has given subsidy, some marketers, oil marketers will now take it to neighboring countries to go and sell, now shortchange the system. So the federal government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, okay, rather than feeding other countries, why can't we just stop this process, now use the money that we have saved to take care of our infrastructure, our social services, social security, so that at least the money will be used for Nigerians. That was the idea behind removal of that subsidy. As in that time, pains, everything has skyrocketed. Because
what exactly is this? You are telling us what we know.
Yes,
what exactly is this?
President Bola Tinubu made some announcements. In the announcement, he said, one, this is what we are going to do. We are going to pay, increase the wages of the civil servants and the pensioners as well. He has started with 35,000 palliative fund, palliative wage. It is a temporary thing. Pending the time they are going to, fix.
What about people that are not working?
Then other people that are not, that are not into formal setting, like informal setting, like artisans and marketmen. They said they will do cash transfer. They will make buses available, and even something. I said, they were doing it in conjunction with 36 state governors. And since that time, 9 billion naira has been sent to all the states in the federation.
Okay.
As at July, all the states in Nigeria, including Osun State, had collected 9 billion naira. 2 billion naira, that is the other palliatives. Then there is another 7 billion naira. That they call it federal government palliative relief. They said they should use it for to enhance the infrastructure. And meanwhile, when that was July, other states in Nigeria, since collecting that money, they have rolled out their palliatives. In Ondo, for example, they are feeding 1 million people. That is their program until December. They are bringing out buses free of charge for pensioners, for civil servants, they are running free shuttle for students. In Benue, for example, they have purchased 100 buses, big buses. Can I continue? $9 billion, 2 billion, the first palliative, then 7 billion naira to enhance infrastructure. Then and from that money as well, they use it to buy bags of rice. In Benue, for example, they purchased about 60,000 bags of rice. In Borno, 200,000 bags of rice. In Imo, almost 100,000 bags of rice. In Enugu, in fact, 120,000 bags of rice. in Osun State asked our people. It was only rice sent from Abuja, federal government bags of rice, like 6,000 plus, that was sent to Osun State. That was the only thing Osun people have benefited from Osun State government. And Governor Adeleke is sitting down on 9 billion naira. He did not say anything from July. The money was collected in July. Other states have been rolling out from early August. But Osun State did not do anything. No cash transfer. Ogun State has been doing cash transfer to civil servants, 10,000 every month. As financially challenged as APT is. Okay, sir.
Let me pause you there because of our time.
Okay.
I would like ABS to react to one thing, and that thing is that it has been said that Osun collected close to 9 billion naira, and then, and I said before, Barrister Kola Kwalimi was here and he told us that Osun State was planning. That was on August 6th. On August 6th. HOB was also here in September. He told us the government was planning. Now we are in October. What exactly is Osun State government doing? Having in mind that several state governments, including Kwara here, neighboring Kwara here, have done several things for their people. So what is Osun government doing for Osun people?
Well, first and foremost, it is very sad to note that the people of the country, Nigeria, are having to be at this downturn of, economic regression orchestrated by the failure of the APC-led federal government to sustain the regime of subsidy. Everybody is suffering in Nigeria, even the rich are suffering. We can only call on the president, Ademola, to consider the people of the country by making sure that the pains and the agonies of the citizenry get addressed before it will be too late, because the suffering is too much. We sympathize with the people of Nigeria, over this inflicted pain currently has been witnessed under the federal government. And we pray to God to bring an end to it so soon. Having said that, you see, our call on the Osun APC and their element will be that they must remember that this state is bigger than all of us. So they should avoid some satanic lies that can seem to polarize the state and cause a great integrity stain on the state. There is no 9 billion naira anywhere that the state governor is sitting on. Don't forget that we have a state governor who has an antecedent of philanthropy.
So how much do you have?
Hold on. We have a state governor that has an antecedent of philanthropy ever before he became governor at all. Here is a governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, who as a senator of the Federal Republic conducted scholarship to indigent students to the tune of 250 billion naira. He's been a cheerful giver, even at a time during coronavirus, the Osun State government at the time could not help the people. This family came out to support the people of the state across length and breadth. So the Adeleke family is blessed enough not to be distracted by the
please, I would like us to go straight so that because of our time, we have less than 30 minutes on the show, and we have a lot of things to talk about.
You see, every question has a narrative. I'm trying to build the narrative to the answer.
So
now, talking about this 2 billion naira, the APC in Osun, under their chairman, who was never elected at any congress, Soko Taju, they are mischievous. The governor have come out to address the state that the 2 billion naira intervention from the federal government is intact. You understand?
Are we saying that they have not received any 7 billion? I want us to just...
There are two things. This 2 billion naira for palliative, then we have this infrastructure plan. What the APC is confusing in their ignorance is to confuse commitment to implementation. even before the state could get receipt of this 2 billion naira, the APC had jumped into town singing that there is surplus money. Now we have the 2 billion, and the state government, as a responsive government, have come up with a strategic detailed plan on how to apply this 2 billion for the good of the Osun people. Don't forget that by the time we wanted to distribute the rice palliative, we had a stakeholder summit whereby every critical stakeholders in the state have a representation, and they mutually agree on the template of sharing which was cut across. Thankfully, the APC is not saying that Ademola, Adeleke or the government of Osun State did not distribute rice palliative. We distributed.
How many
No,
bags? How many bags?
How
many bags? How many bags?
I want us to
How many bags? How many
We
bags?
took delivery for
6,000 bags.
Now.
6,000 bags.
Listen
Yes.
now.
6,000
Let
bags.
this not be like
Yes.
NRT.
What exactly are you trying to
6,000 bags.
Listen, let it not be like
Let me give you a screaming headline. Let me give you a screaming headline. Palliative.
I was on the
Palliatives.
floor. Listen.
Palliatives.
I was on the
ABS.
floor.
Wait.
Oh my
Let
goodness.
him conclude. We'll come to that.
I was on the floor.
Please, I would like us to
we must maintain decency here.
Yes.
We must maintain decency.
Yeah, move on.
This the federal government, in conjunction with all the state government, distributed this rice palliative. It were not entirely free gift by the federal government. The state government had their own percentage of commitment in it. However, we received in entirety 5 trucks of rice, which was evenly distributed across the state, and we had people of impeccable honor who are main focus of the committee who distributed this palliative. Until tomorrow, nobody could fault it, because as a member of government and as a member of the state, I did not have 1 cup in my house. And that is what
some of your councillors went home with bags of rice.
Listen now.
Some of your councillors.
Mention a name of a councillor that went home with rice.
Let us continue.
You can
Make your point.
That lies by the
I said,
APC.
make your
Shameless
point.
lies by the
That's a very
APC.
grievous
Shameless lies
accusation.
by
Make
the
your point.
APC.
That's a very grievous
And we have to-
accusation.
When
we
I
have to be
don't know,
responsible with our
when I
statement.
don't know, I won't say it.
Okay.
So
when I don't know, I won't
you
say
can
it.
tell us
You
the
can-
name
Okay,
and local
okay.
government
What is the
that
name
you-
of that councillor that went home with rice?
Okay.
On your honor.
Let me.
Either on your honor,
let
what is
me-
the
let
name
me-
of that councillor that went home with rice?
ABS.
You have to fear God.
Not
Now-
one councillor.
now-
Anyway,
return-
you do have councillors.
now-
You have members of.
now returning to the basis.
Come back to
Now
you.
returning to the basis.
Please let us be
His
fast.
Excellency His Excellency Governor Ademola Adeleke already assured the state that we have made order for the purchase of another set of palliative items.
When
You
are we
understand?
expecting this?
By the grace of God, Ademola, the commissioner spoke to that.
You spoke about transport.
It's a mutual dividend that will come, hand in hand. At a later date, come next month, November. I think November 19 or so. I can't remember now, but I can get across.
He said November 19.
Yes.
When it will be 100 days.
So we will be unveiling our bus and transportation system. Some of the moribund buses that we have refurbished and revigorated them, and they are in good order now. We have placed order for purchase of new utility buses that will ameliorate the suffering of the workforce in the state. Not only the workforce, even the artisan and the state people. And by the grace of God, come next month, we are going to unveil both the new acquisition and the old acquisition that were rotting under Itola that we are now refurbished, because we are a sensitive and responsible government. Coupled with that, we are coming up with our palliative plan. The same people will have a touch of it, and beyond that, we have an health care system that we are introducing. Whereby
and also palliative, right?
Of course, out of this 2 billion naira.
But you were told that this one was done for free. That was what we are getting.
Listen,
are you
now,
saying that the health care that you have been running is from the 2 billion naira?
No.
So, okay,
We have decided to impregnate this thing further. We have been running our health super.
So are you now saying
system.
that you are running now?
So what we are saying now is that Osun State must expect quality health out of this palliative fund. They must expect another round of palliative, and we are introducing a re-energized public mobility system out of this 2 billion. For the infrastructure fund, you can see that infrastructure has never for one day rested in Osun State. We will continue in that light, and we are going to go all the way to make sure there is no federal constituency you can get to in Osun State today that you will not see the intervention of His Excellency Governor Ademola Adeleke, whether ongoing, whether completed. Within 10-11 months that we have been in government, we have done far over 50 kilometers of roads, strong C road, local government road, that we have been able to complete, for the use and benefit of the people of Osun State. Before our 1 year in office come November 27, by the grace of God, ongoing 50 other kilometers will be completed, and in record time, by 1 year, we will have done more than 100 road construction across the localities and grassroots of Osun State, apart from the fundamental and complex road infrastructure that we are doing. Don't forget that in Osogbo here, the governor have assured that there will be flyovers. We have flyover design up there at Odefia. We have up there at Lameko Junction. We must transform Osogbo to a real state capital befitting.
ABS, you have not answered one question.
What question is that?
The issue of you have talked about 2 billion.
Yes.
The 7 billion naira, I think a statement by the spokesperson to the governor confirmed the receipt of.
That is infrastructure. Infrastructure.
Is it infrastructure?
Infrastructure. That's
but
what.
there are some state government that are deploying that money.
No, go and find out again as press people. 7 billion. That 7 billion is for infrastructure.
For infrastructure.
And
so when should people of Osun be? In Kwara State, they distributed more than 300,000 bags of rice.
We are doing in Osun, and we will continue to do.
Osun has only done 6,000. And
that
6,000 bags.
Have you thank us for the 6,000 that we did? Have you thank us for the 6,000 we did?
What Asiwaju gave you?
Come on, thank us first.
No, 6,000 bags that the federal government gave you.
If we have done that, you can be rest assured that we will do again.
Okay, let's now. Okay, are you saying that the 7 billion naira will be for infrastructure?
Definitely, you will see a masterpiece development.
It's still intact in the government.
Very intact.
But some people are asking.
Others have been made.
Because when I'm very sure that you have seen the video that went viral recently, when some immunization officer got to a village in Osun, and they were saying that. It's not a village.
It's in Osogbo.
Okay, it's in Osogbo. And then some people are saying that when you were not that the 2 billion naira is in the covers, and people are now saying, why would the government keep the money in covers for more than 2 months?
They are showing resentment.
When people are suffering on the street.
That is a resentment.
Listen, you are not being fair with this report. What we have done, there was in fact, it had nothing to do with the state government, because there was a committee put in place to run this thing.
But the government gives you directive.
But you guys have access to the committee if you have any question. This committee has done a human job. They were never on salary, and we have distributed this palliative with all our integrity. It is
I'm
everywhere.
not saying the integrity. I'm not talking about the rights. I'm talking about keeping money when people are suffering.
No money is being kept. It's just the cry of the lazy opposition. What we said at the beginning was that this amount was intact.
It's intact where?
No, now listen, it is a progress. It is a procedure. If money was received, it has to be intact first before you start making orders. We have now made orders. We have made orders. Listen, we have made orders, and you can be sure that we will be in recipient as soon as possible. Hopefully by next month, you will see another round of palliative application in Osun State. You will see our marvelous mobility, intervention, and all of you.
Let me go
so
back
the
to
state is running. His Excellency is performing and working.
When your party issued the statement that they are keeping rice, they are keeping money, so people are now saying, wait, when you were in government, you kept palliative, COVID-19 palliative for months in Ede before people went there to loot it. Maybe they are saying that maybe they inherited that keeping and keeping.
They are not even doing that.
No. I just wanting to react. All of us are aware that you kept it for there for more than 3 months.
I hope you are going to give me enough time to
make my point.
Because you gave me. No, I will be brief. I will be brief. Give me enough time to communicate my thoughts.
The next 5 minutes.
You gave me enough time, so please give me some time.
Okay, please. You have 3 minutes
to articulate my opinion.
Let me
find. We did not keep any palliatives during COVID-19. Wow. In fact, with this human job, it was during COVID-19 that even though $1 implemented the 30,000 minimum wage. Also, hold on. I'm just trying to tell you. In Ede, yes, a warehouse in Ede, and they looted that place. I don't want to go back. We have you know,
No,
we
we
have
are
finished
saying that,
election.
you know,
We have
just-
finished election. We
people
have
are
finished
just referring
election.
to
You know,
it.
some of the things happened during that period was to incite the people. Some politicians induce people to go and do that, to give, you know, a negative perception. To have a negative perception. Hold on. You know, I gave you enough time to articulate your opinion. Please let me have the. I have the gap. I have the gap. You know, during that period, because of position, some politicians were so wicked that they will induce political talks to go and loot a warehouse. That has gone. Let us face the situation at the moment. Let me first of all make this clarification about infrastructure. 7 billion naira for infrastructure. You know, we have a peculiar problem in Nigeria arising from the removal of the fuel subsidy.
Yes.
And we have to address it with peculiar solutions. And one of the solutions is to give palliatives to people. Short-term interventions that will solve people's problem, not long-term. Because, you know, the federal government and state government are still working on long-term, you know, provision or solutions. And the long-term is when we have refineries. You understand? But at the moment, in Yoruba, they will say, kí adìẹ tó dàgbà, nǹkan ni adìẹ máa jẹ, something like that. Before we get to that, you know, uhuru, what are we going to be eating? That is the essence of that intervention. And federal government, when they gave the state government the 9 billion naira, they said, go and do something that will cushion the effect of the removal. Short thing, before December. That was the direction. Before December, anything that will solve people's problem. And that is what other states have been doing. I made mention of it the other time that other states have been giving cash transfer. Look at it.
The federal government not done
Look,
all this?
look at it. Look at it. Let me try and give you this.
You know, some people are saying federal government has shifted, is trying to shift the blame from itself to the state government, and that is the reason for this.
When you say federal government, it is not only central government. We have the federating units. So federating units make a federal government. And when they want, that is the essence of. Hold on, that is the essence of the meeting they normally have every month.
Yes.
Look at this. A responsible state. Palliatives, that is August 22nd. Palliative, screening headline: Zulum donate 300,000 bags of rice for distribution to less privileged. That is in Borno. August 31, this is Imo. Palliative, Imo begin distribution of 65,000 bags of rice. In Enugu, Governor Umba begin distribution of 104,000 bags of rice, maize to rural poor in Enugu. Oyo government earmarks 8.6 billion naira for palliatives as distribution begins Wednesday. That is what state of the federation are doing. Look at Ondo State. First subsidy removal, Ondo rolls out palliative for residents. That was August 3rd. Then they now make reference to that 7 billion. He explained that the palliatives, that's the Commissioner for Information in Ondo State, which are funded by the 7 billion infrastructure support fund released to each state of the federation by the federal government, will be operational from August to December this year. That was August 3rd. This release was August 3rd.
We are not in October.
Yes. So what it means is that the money has been warehoused. The money has been received before that period. I am telling you that Osun State are being in custody of 2 billion and 7 billion naira palliative from federal government since July. And Governor Adeleke has sat on the money. He's sitting on the money and he's telling pensioners that are financially emasculated, pensioners that are financially pathless, to come and queue under the sun in the name of verification. Even if you want to do anything, if you want to remove anything on the payroll, you are supposed to suspend it. This is not the period you will tell people to leave where they are living, you know, to come and do verification. Let me give you one example. My father retired from the Osun State government almost 30 years ago. 30 years ago.
30.
Yes, almost 30 years ago. My father doesn't live in this state. He lives outside this state. And I can tell you what he collects. In Osun State, no pensioner under the defined pension scheme, DPS, the old scheme, no person, no pensioner that retired maybe level 7 that collects more than 10,000 naira. So what it means is that there are some pensioners in Osun State that doesn't collect more than 5,000, 6,000. They are telling them to live where they are living, come and do verification.
I want us to-
When things are very difficult for people.
I want us to look into, what you have actually diverted the matter.
I am not.
But,
The essence of that 7 billion, Mr. Moderator, the 7 billion naira is for short-term thing. What Senator Ademola Adeleke is trying to do now, let me tell you, is that because the money has been diverted.
To where?
The money has been diverted. When you don't use money for a purpose in which it was given, that is diversion.
But it has not been spent.
Since July.
Nobody has said that the money has been spent.
Since July. What are they using the money for?
But
They put it in the bank.
They have said that the money is intact.
I said when other states, have spent their money.
May I quickly come in that the APC is they are a terrible set of people who cannot do without lies. Talking about the pensioner matter that I has just said, I want to say unequivocally that he is ignorant, because the state government have come out to adduce reason. There is notification out there that verification for pensioners cannot be done via
that is after collapse or something.
After collapse of 20
people
cannot be done.
Fire.
That is to tell you that we have a responsible and sensitive government.
We have to be responsive about that. We have to be proactive sometimes. They are reactionary.
Even if you live outside Nigeria, you can be verified as a pensioner. Unlike the falsehood that is put up. Listen now,
I have something to do.
unlike the falsehood that he put up,
listen,
he was saying that this Ondo commissioner said this 2 months ago. Can you politely ask him what has been done in Ondo State since that 2 months ago?
Okay,
listen,
They don't speak English.
Listen now,
the government will restore.
Today as we speak, the Ondo people they are languishing that they cannot see their governor. And here you see a governor that is working for you, you don't want to appreciate him.
Since August,
now we have distributed.
And let me go to the last issue
Now we
that I want us to
have the
discuss.
levels of the palliative material. This
You are still almost.
This lazy APC people have not come out one day to thank us.
APS,
Other than to find fault.
You are still almost.
Let me tell you, the Adeleke government since day one have been pro-workers, and that is why 4 months. Listen, that is why I want you to hear this. 4 months of deduction, cooperative deduction that Ayetola took away without traces, Ademola Adeleke have been able to pay to the tune of billions. Within 10-11 months that we came on board as a government, we have paid over 70
Oyetola paid 60 billion naira to settle pension issues. 60 billion naira.
You should also give them some.
Within 10 months,
let me say,
because
they have paid 3 months of the half salary arrears.
Apart from
Oyetola paid 2 months.
I already not pay.
I said Oyetola paid pensioners.
Arrears, half salary
Eda
arrears.
is ignorant.
Who are the? Hold on. Who are the?
You are ignorant. Oyetola never paid a dime. And we have paid more than 4 times now.
I said
Let me leave that.
Oyetola.
I want us
I
to
said
go
no.
to the
Oyetola
last issue.
paid. Oyetola paid. I said
pay a dime.
I go and make verification.
Ademola Adeleke is a governor.
Please, ABS, listen to that. ABS
are paying half salary arrears. We are
there are
paying
some people
cooperative
in the
deduction.
PGP
We are
that are
paying
saying that
pension.
they have been fenced out of the government. They are saying that because of their loyalty, maybe during the primaries, it is normal that they have their choice. But after the emergence of Senator Adeleke, they all worked for the party emergence, and then party emerged, and then they said all of them have been fenced out of the government, and then that was why even your government failed to attend to the burial ceremonies of the late former zonal chairman of the PDP, late Honorable Soji Adagolo. And they say everybody that identified with that man are outside the fence and they are not part of this government.
Well, with due respect, first and foremost, may God rest the soul of late Soji Adagolo, our leader, our former leader. May God rest his soul. It's unfortunate that his crowd of followers are using his death to play politics. May God forgive them. Now, the governor of Osun State was personally pained that SOD had to go when he went. However, we cannot question God. May God rest his soul, like we said. You see, one simple answer to the question is that I want to refer you to the biblical reference of two mothers fighting over a child before a king, and one had to say that they should cut the child into two halves so that she could have one, the other woman could have the second half. And the one who was the original mother said no, she will never stand and watch her son being cut into halves. That she preferred that the wrong mother be left with the custody of the child, that when the child grows, the child will recognize her as a true mother. And God now delivered wisdom to the king that truly this one that never wanted the child to be cut, it was the true owner of the child. Nobody, no true PDP member who worked for Ademola Adeleke to become governor will pray that the government should not succeed. This crowd of people that you are talking about are only few anyway. They are wishing the government evil and they want to profit.
How do you know?
No, it's a general knowledge between us. And if they are watching and they will know. You see, they are wishing us evil and they want to profit from the same government they are wishing evil. You can't eat your cake and still have it. As a governor with a large heart, His Excellency said he's the father of everybody. People should come around. Only them know why they are choosing to be rebellious in attitude.
You know, what I want to say
listen, let me grab the point.
Because of the
Only
time,
them know why they are choosing to be rebellious in their attitude. However, we have a good percentage among them who are thoroughbred party people and who are loyal to PDP. They don't have to be loyal to a man. And those people, you will see that they are reasonable and they want the party intact, regardless of their, affiliation. And those set of people, as we speak, have no problem with the government. They are in tune with government.
Have you actually, as the government, the governor, actually offered any of them any appointments?
This is what we are talking about. They are in tune with government.
Have you offered them any appointments?
This is what we are talking.
In the retinue of SSAs.
This is what we are talking about. The government, they do not have, the reasonable ones among them do not have problem with the government. Listen now, they are in tune with the government, and very soon the people will glorify the name of God in their lives. Amen. However, those who have chosen rebellion path will never intimidate the government into coming to lobby them. It will not happen.
I want to say this because we all know that that was the genesis of the APC's collapse. The government of former governor Adebayo
more than 98%.
was alleged of excluding some people.
No, this is not the same situation. More than 98% of PDP vote in Osun State today, or even 99%, are loyal to Governor Ademola Adeleke.
The number can keep increasing. Your number can keep decreasing. Let me go to him.
Now that we have been able to deplete the APC vote, we can only increase. Those if you want to be loyal to PDP, be loyal to PDP, and PDP will know you. But you can't use half loyalty, half betrayal, and think that you want to make any good of PDP. It will not happen.
Eda, you belong to the group that is loyal to former governor Adebayo. If I'm right.
Is Eda even a politician?
Eda is a politician.
Are you?
You belong to that group. Am I right? I think your principal,
I belong to APC.
Okay, but
the genuine APC.
The genuine
APC. Just one APC in Osun State.
That is
led by His Excellency Alhaji Adebayo.
Okay.
And the chairman, Soko Tajuddin.
Let me now ask you. It seems that with what we have seen so far, it seems as 2026 is approaching, your group, your leader, former governor Adebayo, is taking left, or let me say, is taking one lane to 2026. While the former governor and former minister of interior, is also taking another lane towards 2026. And it seems there is no end to the crisis between these two leaders. And when there is no end to the crisis between these leaders, it means there is no end to the crisis in the APC. What exactly are you planning to do? Is it not a repeat of 2022 defeat?
Whatever things Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, whatever thing he does now, it's not new to us. We are used to it. When he was not with us in 2022,
you lost.
We had a good showing.
But you lost.
Hold on. We had a good showing. Even when he was with us in 2018, we got 255,028 votes. In 2022, when he worked against us, when he colluded with the ruling government, you understand it? We got 375,000 votes.
But your number does not.
Additional 114,000 votes.
But it doesn't.
That
It
is
doesn't
to show
result
the
in
popularity.
It
The
doesn't result into 50.
hold on. Acceptability of Alhaji Gboyega Oyetola in relation to where I come from. In 2018, we got 9,000 votes.
Let's
We won PDP
let's
with
come to 2019.
1,000. We are in APC.
January
We are in APC. We are galvanizing support for our party towards 2026, and those people that are keen to the to our programs of the party led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are going to support us. And people of Osun have had the opportunity of comparing our party under Oyetola and Governor Adeleke within 1 year. You saw the resentment. You saw the resentment shown to Governor Adeleke by those people that are running away from immunization. They are actually telling Governor Adeleke that you collected palliatives. You did not give us. That is resentment.
Let's leave Adeleke out of this.
Yes, now
From
people are able to compare the two. People are able to compare the two government.
Can Oyetola work side by side with Adeleke anywhere in Osun today, including in
You want
Irabiti?
2 senatorial seats.
Okay.
You want 6 House of Rep members.
Yeah.
And you want 23 House of Assembly
Yeah.
seats. When you were together.
Okay.
In 2023, when you have gone separate ways, you lost all the senatorial seats, lost all the House of Rep seats, lost all but 1 House of Assembly seat.
After killing all our people.
I'm saying, but what we are saying is that it seems if you continue that part, are you saying that you have what it takes to defeat a government that is sitting tight, that is also having the support of top? Mind you, some of them have been appointed. And then you also need to factor in
the major challenge we had in the last election was security challenge, and all those things will be resolved before 2026. We can just keep it like that.
All those things will be resolved before 2026. I want to say thank you so much. We've spent more than the hours that we are supposed to spend, but however, we got the support of Insight Initiative for Community and Social Development to extend another 30 minutes, and that is why we have continued to this period. I want to appreciate my guests. It has been fire for fire in the last 1.5 hours. ABS, I hope you've calmed down, and then you've seen that the people are watching, and then they will continue to be on your necks, on your toes, and wherever you are, because they have entrusted Governor Ademola Adeleke, who subsequently appointed people like you with their trust, their commonwealth, and everything that belongs to all of us. And we believe that we will continue to having this kind of discussion as we move on. Next month is going to be 2 times because it's going to be 1 year. The civil society will sit down to analyze what they have seen in 1 year, and also will bring some key officials of the government and key officers of the opposition to also speak on what they have seen in 1 year of Senator Ademola Adeleke's government. Special appreciation to everybody that has worked with me, and then to the people that have been supporting us, the NGO that has been supporting us as initiative. I want to appreciate everyone that have been part of today's show. My guest, ABS, thank you so much. And Heather has been speaking with us for more than 1.5 hours. And on that note, I want to say, see you some other time. Please keep your comments on Facebook. We will continue the engagement there. And I want to say that both ABS and Heather will go back to that platform to look at what people have said about them and to respond to some of the questions that we are unable to ask on this show. Is because of our time and we have a lot of issues to discuss. See you some other time. Bye for now. My name is Jare Tiamiyu. Bye for now.